So I've been hustling for quite a while, and I'm gonna talk about the businesses that I started from the moment I was in high school, actually. And the reason I'm doing that is because I believe that is all part of my journey. So this is what I'm gonna talk about in this video, and I'm gonna get right into it. Now, the first business I ever started was selling sweets in high school. Okay, I sold sweets in high school, and yeah, that was cool. That was cool. But the one thing that I realized about selling sweets in high school was that, I was a dumb kid. If I'm to lightly put it, I was a dumb kid because all the money that I made, and that is the profit, I would spend it on cigarettes because I was a smoker back in high school, and I would use the profit to buy cigarettes, and then I'm left with money for restocking, and I'm gonna go buy the sweets again. And this was mainly lollipops. When I started, in the first high school that I started selling sweets, it was, I think it was Stumble Pop, if I'm not mistaken. Stumble or something like that, but it was a thick ass lollipop. And yeah, I didn't do so great, but people did actually buy, and I did get customers. And that one obviously failed because I was irresponsible with the money. And then I moved to Limpopo, and when I moved to Limpopo, that was another high school, and I continued on the same thing, and I see that I've always been entrepreneurial in that sense, that I continued selling sweets and mainly lollipops. There was these milky ones. What is it called? Milky something. I forget what it's called, but those were really cool sweets that I was selling back in high school again. And then even there, the business failed mainly because I was a smoker again. So I would spend most of my money on buying cigarettes in high school, and then sometimes I would also buy bread here and there at home when I was living with my grandma. So that business, I can't say I learned much from that business, but I did actually run that business for a while, and eventually I stopped doing it. And then I tried to sell ice at my grandma's house, and well, that didn't do well at all because firstly, I didn't know how to mix them. Secondly, I didn't know how to advertise it properly, and most of the time I was not even at home because I was being a mischievous teenager. Now we move on to my very, very early 20s, and the type of business I wanted to do was a music recording studio. The reason I wanted to do a music recording studio is because I was a musician at that time, mainly a rapper, and I did sing a little bit here and there. I think I still can sing, but that is irrelevant to this video. The music recording studio, I didn't actually have my own equipment, so that was almost, in a sense, doomed to fail because I didn't have my own equipment. I was trying to run that business through another person's equipment, and I had no actual knowledge of marketing. And I saw this even when I was marketing my own music, that I didn't have knowledge of marketing, but my knowledge of doing marketing and starting to promote things online started when I got into doing music. And eventually I realized that I enjoyed more of the promoting the music more than it was making the music. But at that point, nothing clicked in my mind that I like promoting. But I did notice that I do like promoting the music, the online marketing process, and I did that very well to an extent. And in the East End in Benoni, at the time it was called Ben City. This was an industry, or like, if I were to put it in a simpler way, Benoni, the city, Ben City was like all the musicians and the artists that were around the Benoni area. And my crew, which was AMG at that time, which is Arctic Music Gang, was one of the well-known ones at that time. And doing the online promotion got me into photography. And when I started doing photography, it was because of my own photo shoot for a mixtape that I wanted to drop. I wanted to drop a mixtape, and before even recording multiple tracks, I only had two songs, and I was gonna call it Black Supremacy. And when I had about three songs, I was like, let me do this photo shoot. So I always had the inclination for marketing and branding myself, and that's what I did. I tried to promote myself as a musician. I was called Graphite Raps, and graphite is, as you know, the carbon within a pencil, and I believe that my pen game was really good. So most of the time I'll write my lyrics with the pencil. So I called myself Graphite Raps, and that really hit. People to this day still call me Graph or Graphite. It is part of the branding, and that's how good the branding was then. There are people who still call me Kref, like they will not call me by name, by my name, which is Tepo. And that obviously the music recording studio failed because I didn't have my own equipment. And when I fell in love with photography, I did get my own camera and I started pushing myself as a photographer. I didn't make that much money. Actually, the kind of money I would make was enough to buy bread, maybe. Sometimes it was enough to buy myself a little bit of a sniff of a line, if you know what I mean. And doing photography and promoting my photography business online again showed me that I like the promoting process more than I really liked doing the photography. As much as I did love the photography, it was the promoting that I really, really loved. And the idea hit me in 2016. Now, this is about 3 years as in, no, no, no. It's about 2 years after I started doing photography. And I realized since I love promoting so much and I don't really make that much money with the photography, why don't I just start a social media marketing agency? And that's what I did. I started as a social media marketing agency, and my first two clients, one was a pest control company, two was a promotions company. And what a promotion company is is basically they would create branding for businesses. So let's say, for example, NetBank wants to do T-shirts for a certain event. They'll do the printing or the embroidery of that certain campaign that NetBank is pushing, as an example. And the name of the company was Amansi Promotions, if I'm not mistaken. Amansi Promotions, actually, it is Amansi Promotions because I still do get the logging prompt on LinkedIn, and that's where I wanted to actually promote this business. It was on LinkedIn. And then moving from that, the pest control company, I tried the social media marketing. It was not great at all. I jumped into the social media marketing after seeing a video by Gary Vaynerchuk. I think it was a speaking event where first time I saw this dude was like, I hate Samsung or whatever the fuck. And I was really, really inspired. I thought I can do this too. So yeah, I jumped into it and it was not so great. I was not ready to be a social media marketer because I didn't have that much knowledge in it. As much as I did have knowledge in promoting music, what I didn't understand is that when it comes to promoting or marketing certain types of businesses, you also have to understand the market. And I understood the market of people who were music fans. I didn't understand the market of people who are looking for promotion products or homeowners who are looking for pest control companies or even businesses that are looking for pest control companies. So I didn't understand the target audience as much as I didn't understand my own target audience as the clients that I would work with in the social media marketing business. So that business failed, although I did make a little bit of money, and it gave me the motivation to say, yeah, this is the business I'm really, really going for. But eventually, obviously, it did fail, as I do mention that this is 9 lessons from 9 failed businesses. So I've so far covered selling sweets in high school and trying to sell ice and also doing photography, and then number four, which was the social media marketing company. And then from social media marketing company, I did try that over and over and over and over again, and it kept on failing over and over and over again. But at the same time, I was still promoting my photography, and it did allow me to make a little bit of a living. And then business number five that actually didn't go so well was trying to sell video businesses. I mean, trying to sell video services. When it comes to selling the video services, I did make some really good money. But again, I had a problem. And the problem was that I was not that good at doing video. Okay. And I specifically mean the shooting part of things. And when it comes to editing, I was mid level. Okay. And it got me to travel quite a lot. It got me to travel quite a lot. I got some customers that paid me some big bucks. I got some jobs as a freelancer with other companies that got me some big bucks, but it failed mainly because of financial mismanagement. Number one. Number two is that I was not improving on my skill as a videographer or as a video service provider. I just kept on improving as a salesperson or a marketer for that service, but I was not improving their service itself. So I did see that I was not doing so well when it comes to providing the service that was high quality. Although I do have some videos that I am proud of that are available online, and I moved from that to doing online marketing training. And how I moved into online marketing training, which is business number six. Let me see. Yeah, that's business number six, which is online marketing training. How I got into that business is when I was still trying to sell my video production services to business, I met someone who was looking for someone who would facilitate a class for 5 days, and they teach a group of people how to do online marketing for their business. And this was traditional craft makers, so it would be beading, it would be sewing, making clothes, traditional clothes. And I did that, and it was great. I had never made so much money before. I made so much money, it was crazy to me. But moving on, I did that and I thought, okay, this is where I'm going to pivot my business because I see there's a lot of money in teaching, and I still believe that there is a lot of money in teaching, which is why I think that I might get into the online education space, but I don't want to overexert myself and spread myself too thinly, which is another lesson within this video. So the online marketing training business failed because I blew through the money. Yeah, I blew through it. God damn it, I blew through it. He went on holiday in Durban. I paid my apartment rent for 6 months, a full 6 months. And after that, getting a client like that again was just almost impossible. I tried to sell the video services because that's how I got that client initially. And it just didn't work out. And then COVID happened. So when COVID happened, I really did give up on everything else that I was doing. And then because I saw that, you know what, I was struggling in doing business and I was struggling in trying to make some money during COVID. I decided to start a YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel didn't do well. Didn't make me any money at all to a certain extent. However, since I was talking about fitness because it was something that I had started getting passionate about, I got a bit of few customers that I would train on WhatsApp, and I did substantial amount for that time during COVID. I could buy myself airtime, data, I could pay my Wi-Fi, and I could buy things that I needed during COVID. And then I discovered tattooing, which is something that I do currently. So I'm not going to talk about the tattooing. But during the time of me doing the tattooing, I did two other things. And that was number one, trying to sell weed. I tried to sell marijuana, and that didn't do well at all, you know. And I discovered that just because it's something that so many people get into, so many people smoke, and so many people make money in selling marijuana, it is like any other kind of business. You have to establish trust with your customers. You have to be found at the same location over and over again, and they have to trust your product, which is the weed that you are selling. And eventually, these people become your customers, and you have to do it for long enough in order for people to understand that okay, we buy our weed from this person. And I didn't have the patience for that. And the actual reason I did this selling weed thing was because I was desperate. And actually, as a side note, between selling weed, I also tried selling sex toys, which is something else that failed. And I didn't actually want to mention it in this video, but I'm mentioning it as a bonus. Then the next thing that I started was TBT, Nature's Touch. Now, this one I'm actually a bit proud of, even though I believe that it has failed at this moment, and I might re-establish it in future if I do have the capital. This one failed mainly because of the capital, because throughout my journey as an entrepreneur, as a hustler, I had learned how to do marketing. I had learned how to do product photography. I had learned how to do video. And I've also learned how to sell. Okay, I've gained so many skills over the years. And I made products. The first product that I made was a tattoo balm, which I still do sell, and it still does do a little bit well. And I think it might do better in future. But I made the mistake of, you know what, going from TBT Nature's Touch to trying to add more products within that business so that I could have a product range. So I made a soap, I made a body butter, and then I also made a face cream, and I wanted to make a roll on, which also failed. Now, the soap was selling very well. To this day, I still get people who want to buy the soap. The body butter didn't do so well, so it's really not a focus. The face cream bombed, okay? It bombed. And this business failed mainly because of capital. I was not really mismanaging the money. The problem was the fact that I had personal bills and I had business bills. And TVT was making a little bit of money, the tattooing was making a little bit of money, and my personal bills were a bit too high for me to grow my business, and I was living beyond my means. And because of that, I was unable, unfortunately, to grow that business because I would take money from that business to pay my personal bills, and that's how I believe it failed. Although I still do have the tattoo balm, which is really great for many other things. I still get customers who buy it just because they have other skin ailments like eczema or they have rashes, and some people buy it for their hair. And the lessons that I learned from running all these businesses mainly was that although I could have done better, had I focused on one or two things, I learned that they're not really mistakes. There are mistakes if we are to put it in the sense that all these years, this is about 10 years, man. All these years of me doing all these things. No, no, it's a bit more than 10 years because I actually started in 2009 selling sweets. So I don't want to do the calculation right now and embarrass myself, but I believe it's more than 10 years. And what I've learned is that marketing is important, being able to sell is important, being able to brand, and which is not the same as marketing, is important. And then financial management is even more important. And of course, capital is really really great if you have it, but it's also not an excuse to not start doing something. This is another lesson that I've learned. Okay. And with all these lessons that I got from running all these businesses, I believe that the current business that I am trying to grow, which is a tattoo business, might do well. But here's the thing, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, I am not afraid of saying this, and I'm not embarrassed to say it. And I don't actually believe that I will be a millionaire in the tattoo space. I might make some substantial amount of money over time, which now I've been doing it for about 3 years. And in the next 10 years, which will be 13 years, I think I might be able to make some good money and have some employees. But I don't believe that I can get to the point of being a millionaire in that business. Hence, I still have some businesses that I have tried and I will get back into doing them if I have built a team that will actually assist me in growing those businesses. But the lessons that I have learned was that marketing is a good idea and is a good thing to know and understand to apply for yourself. Selling is a great skill to have, and branding is also very important because when it comes to branding, it's the difference between somebody making a decision to buy a product from you that they could buy from somebody else, but they decide to buy from you because they are more attached in a sense to your brand. And financial management is a very important skill to possess, which is also something that I am trying to do. And these are the 9 lessons that I learned. No, these are not nine lessons. These are 4 lessons that I learned from 9 businesses. Okay. And to segue from that is that I've also learned that it's important to have a network of people that you work with or to have a team. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I have done over the years, and I didn't realize it, that during the time when I was in a music crew, promoting myself individually was a breeze because I was known to be somebody who was in a music group that was known in the city or in the area that I was in. Promoting myself was much easier. It was a breeze, and I could have become even a bigger artist. We all could have if we were more focused and we were not doing wrong things like taking drugs and drinking too much alcohol. Instead of going to perform, we are in the studio recording music endlessly and not promoting ourselves endlessly as we record. And I believe that's part of the failure. But what the point is that working in a team of these guys made it easier for me to promote myself as an individual or as a solo artist. All that to say that what I've learned through that at the moment, not having a team is the reason that my business is not doing as well as it could. So I am trying to build a team or build a network of people that I can build a business with, and we grow the business together. And it's very difficult, mainly because I have a problem with trusting people because I don't know if they will be as dedicated as I am. And if the team is of employees, obviously they will not be as dedicated as I am, which is a newly learned lesson. And if it's people that I start from the ground up with, I want them to be as dedicated as I am. But personal traits and personal characters are not the same. However, if I achieve building a team that the business grows, then I will be more able to promote myself as an individual brand within the tattoo space, within the team that I am building, and the business will grow, and I myself will grow as a brand personally. And the YouTube channel, I do believe that it can be monetizable in the future, but then it's not monetized right now. So I can't speak of it as a business, although I do see it as a business, eventually something that will build me passive income. But at the moment, it's not monetized. So I'm not gonna talk about it as as a business, even though I've done a YouTube channel before as a business, and yeah, it bombed. It really, really bombed. I didn't even get to 30 subscribers. This one right now, I think, is on 390 subscribers. I would like to have more subscribers, but of course that has not yet happened. And I believe that if I collaborate with other YouTubers as much as I collaborate with other tattoo artists, I'll be able to grow myself as a personal brand. And once I'm able to bring in my own capital or be able to raise funds through my network, I can get back into the other businesses, build teams, and create systems that will allow me to grow these businesses. So I think now it's 5 to 6 lessons. One, marketing is important. Branding is just as important as marketing, and do not confuse the two. Being able to sell is a number one skill. Financial management, building a team, and setting up systems. So these are 6 lessons from 9 businesses that failed. I'll see you in the next one. What's the videos that YouTube believes that you should watch based on you watching this live? Much love to you.